What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. We are coming to you guys today from just outside Cody, Wyoming, which can only mean one thing. We have finally made it to Yellowstone National Park. This place has been on our list since the very beginning when we started talking about going full-time and traveling. Yellowstone was probably the #1 place that we really wanted to get out and visit, and it has absolutely not disappointed in any way. We're actually going to break up our Yellowstone videos into a couple different parts. If we did one video on it, it would be way too long. So this is basically our day 1 in Yellowstone, which is incredible because we've seen so much wildlife. It's so amazing. The views are impressive, unbelievable. So the place we decided to stay was Buffalo Bill State Park. It's a Wyoming state park. It is still a little far from the entrance of Yellowstone. It's about 35 miles from this campground to the Yellowstone entrance, which on the back roads takes about 40 minutes or so to get to the gate, which isn't too bad, especially for the price. It's worked out good for us. I mean, we would probably ideally, we would have liked to have been a little bit closer to the east entrance, but for the price and the fact that they have cell signal, that's a big deal. There are some campgrounds closer to the entrance. There's some National Forest campgrounds that look like they would be awesome to stay at, but there's no cell signal out there at all.
Or no hookups.
Yeah, and we would need we need some cell signal here because while we're out here, still have to get some work done, but
not permanent vacation, unfortunately.
That's right, not permanent vacation. We basically spent our first day over exploring the eastern side of the park. You can drive a long way in there. So we put over 200 miles on the truck yesterday. 70 of that was getting obviously to Yellowstone and back, but we still put right around
130 miles.
130 miles on the truck inside the park, and we just stayed in a very small section of it. So there's a lot to explore there. You don't have to get out of your car and walk very far. There's a lot of pull-offs. You can see a tremendous amount just from the road. So you don't have to take big long hikes to see things. Those are available if you want to do that. But we saw almost everything on day 1 from the truck. We didn't really want to get into doing a bunch of hikes because, like I said, just the amount of time that you spend driving and getting to where you want to go in there, it really eats into the day. So we decided to explore mostly from the truck and park and get out and do some short walks to some different things. But it was absolutely awesome. We got up extremely early to beat the crowds. Good morning, guys, from Yellowstone National Park. As you can see, we were up at 3 o'clock this morning. We were out the door shortly before 4 o'clock. So we wanted to get in here super early, try to beat some of the crowds and make the drive through here really early and have our best shot at seeing some wildlife. So we are super excited. We hit the gates just after 5 o'clock this morning, and it's been amazing so far. We've already seen a ton of elk.
So, some elk, more elk. Pretty cool.
And we're really just getting started, so looking forward to today. Should be awesome.
Yeah, and my dad forgot to mention that we've also seen a couple of deer and a few bison here this morning, and the elk, of course. And like he said, we're just getting started. So I'm pretty excited to see what else we can find. That definitely surprised me. Came right out from the wharf. Pretty cool. On to the next.
And it paid off.
It definitely paid off.
Paid off big time.
there were very few other people who were smart enough to get up early too.
We went across Sylvan Pass. It was still pretty much dark when we went across there, so we knew there was a view to be had there, but we couldn't really see it because it was still pretty dark. But once we got on the other side of Sylvan Pass, that's when we really started seeing some wildlife. The first thing we saw was
a lot of elk.
Whole bunch of elk that were coming up across the road. Those were super awesome, and as we drove in, we just saw more and more and more elk. I've never seen so many elk anywhere. I mean, we saw a bunch at Custer State Park.
We thought that was cool.
But it was just kind of in one area. Over here, man, the elk are everywhere. Everywhere. It was really awesome to see those. Kind of first thing, obviously the big thing that we wanted to see were some bears.
Yep.
Man, we've been trying to find bears ever since we were back in Florida. Florida does have a small black bear population. We went to the campgrounds where stayed in the state parks where they were known to be seen, and we saw
Tennessee.
some tracks. No bears. We've looked in Tennessee. You know, it just seems like everywhere we go, we see people post about them. We see pictures of them from other people, and man, we look and look, and we've just never been fortunate enough to see any.
And I for a while I was making a joke. Maybe bears aren't even real.
Yeah, so we might as well have been looking for Bigfoot to try to find a bear, but not this time, not this day. We were cruising along, and we saw about 10 or 12 cars pulled off on the side of the road, and a couple of them off in a pull-off, and the people were out standing on the opposite side of the road looking up the hill, taking pictures, binoculars out. And usually when you see that in Yellowstone, that means there's probably a bear up there.
Yeah.
And that was the case. Down here this morning driving the Grand Loop Road, see a bunch of traffic on the side and big grizzly bear.
Oh, we found our bear.
So we pulled off. We were lucky enough to where it was only about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like 6.
Yeah, so it was only like 6 a.m. So the traffic on the roads was minimal, hardly anybody out. So we were able to pull off. We were able to get out, get some pictures and some video of the bear. Super awesome for our first experience getting to see a bear. The fact it was a grizzly bear was a bonus. I mean, that's something that obviously we really wanted to see, but weren't sure if we were going to have the opportunity. So we were over the moon. After we saw the bear, we went up, stopped at Artist Point on the way up, which the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. So when we got there, we've seen videos of that place, and there's always been a ton of people. It's packed. There were 2 cars in the parking lot when we got there. Alright, so we have come down here. We're at Artist Point right now in Yellowstone. Great place to kind of get out and stretch your legs, walk. You can see the falls there in the background. Unbelievably beautiful out here this morning. Like I said earlier, we got here super early. Just spotted our first grizzly bear. Awesome. We were so excited to have a chance to see some bears while we were here, and to get the opportunity to spot that grizzly early in the morning. There weren't a ton of people out. There's probably 10 or 12 people stopped getting pictures of it and checking it out up on the side of the hill, but just an awesome experience. And come up here to Artist Point, and check out this view. Unbelievable. I mean, that's your view looking back behind us this way. You got the falls. Just a fantastic way to start the morning, and it's not even 7 o'clock yet, so we are excited, man. We are super excited. Someplace we've been wanting to get to for a long time. So it's living up to the hype and the expectations we had so far. So
It's to other people, but
Yeah, that was awesome.
you know, it was amazing to be able to really take our time, get the pictures we wanted, get the video we wanted, and not have to fight the crowds. Didn't have to fight with anybody. I mean, it was the people that were there were actually getting ready to leave when we got there. So we pretty much had every viewpoint to ourselves. We had the whole place.
Yeah, you see pictures of Yellowstone at 10:30 in the morning. Nightmare. Yeah, it's lined up. You see cars, trucks, Class A's, Class E's. You see everything. People towing trailers, fifth wheels. You see everything.
Dylan's a big fan of getting up early and getting started with his day.
Yeah.
So he's up early anyway. So
Yeah.
getting up super early and getting on the road was not an issue for us. Well, it wasn't. It was a little bit of an issue for us. Not as much of an issue for him at all.
Wasn't an issue for me. I was actually more happy than disappointed to get up so early.
So after leaving Artist Point, we went all the way, like I said, to the Canyon Village area, turned around, and then started to work our way back.
And as a side note about Canyon Village, that's a great spot. They have restrooms to use. They have gas if you need fuel.
Expensive
and a little
gas.
store.
Expensive.
Yeah, I mean, the fuel there, up there, the diesel fuel was about 20 cents more than you pay in town.
Then you're not going to have a choice if you're almost out of gas.
Not a terrible deal. You know, if you find yourself up there in the middle of Yellowstone and you need fuel, 20 cents a gallon extra for the convenience of having it in there.
Yeah.
I would recommend just making sure you have a full tank before you get in there, and you shouldn't need to gas up while you're inside there. But it was a good place just to kind of get out and stretch our legs. They have some not vault toilets, actual flush toilets there. So a little bit better restroom facilities right there at that spot. But and then we started working our way back, and just kind of took in the views. Now the sun was starting to get up a little bit more. Don't mind us, big fella.
Yeah, that's...
So many elk out here.
This is probably lost that little baby. He's just walking around like... This is a little grown baby. It's like... Oh, look! Look, that guy was like being rude to the younger one. He was like running him out. Oh! You see that guy just messing with the baby?
By the time we were headed back, and we were actually on our way back out of the park by like 9 o'clock. So on our way out, just before we were getting back to Sylvan Pass to go back across to come out, we come around the corner and we saw one car parked on the side of the road, and a couple guys out, and they were looking up at the side of the hill, and glanced up there, and there was yet another grizzly bear.
Even bigger.
Even bigger, yeah. This one was pretty big. We're on our way out of the park actually, and what do we see up here on the side of the hill? Big boy up here.
Wow. What are you doing now?
Just rooting around.
That is awesome, man. So awesome.
So on our way out the park.
And this guy is way up here in the mountains. Let's pan around. This is where we see him at.
Wow. On our way out the park. Okay. Yeah, we had to slam on the brakes. Came from down there.
Man, how cool is that?
We're like, oh gosh, whoa.
And on a very steep
Hill.
side of the hill, very impressive that it would even be up there. I mean, as steep as that was, I'm really surprised to see it up there. So we pulled off. There was a little spot we could get off the road. We were kind of the first ones on the scene there to spot it.
We're the second car there, pretty much.
Yep. So we hopped out, got some excellent pictures. It was a little closer than the first one was.
But we still were keeping a distance.
Yeah, we weren't trying to go up the hill chasing after the grizzly bear. We stayed right close to the truck. Got excellent pictures. Got some beautiful video of it, and it was just such a bonus to see that bear and to see it kind of before the big crowd built in and you know, made it want to shuffle off, you know, a little bit further.
Yeah. So, like I said, when even other people start rolling up.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. I mean, if you see something, if you see any kind of wildlife, and you stop and you're the first one there, by the time you get done getting a few pictures, some video, and watching it for a minute, there'll be 20 cars lined up, or more.
Yeah. And one person pulls over, everyone wants to pull over.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except like the only thing that will stop traffic in Yellowstone bears, one for the Bison jam.
Yeah. So we came on back, had a great morning. So we come back, and the more we sat here and thought about it, our next trip is going to be over to the Lamar Valley area, which we're not going to be able to go through the same area that we went through on this trip. We're going to have to go around and come in through the northeast entrance. So the more we thought about it, sitting here and going through some of the pictures and, you know, talking about it, we decided we wanted to make an evening trip over to Yellowstone. We just wanted to get over there for an evening trip and see what Yellowstone looked like, you know, late in the day, just before dark. And
it's still packed.
It looks like there's 500 million people there. It was
not that many.
It was really busy.
There's probably 1,000 people there. Literally.
So we got back to the entrance to Yellowstone at 5 p.m. So our morning trip, we started at 5 a.m. This one we got back to the gate at 5 p.m.
12 hours.
12 hours later. And it was, right off the bat, extremely busy. A lot more traffic. If there was any wildlife that you could see, there was such a traffic backup that by the time you got to there, it was either gone or somebody had already done something stupid and scared it off. That was the case on the evening trip. We actually had an opportunity to see a third bear, and the traffic was kind of backing up. People were pulling up, people were driving past slowly, getting their pictures and going on, you know, not trying to hold traffic up too bad. And then a couple guys decided they were going to park and try to walk up into the woods where the bear was at and get a close-up picture of it. So all we really got to see was the bear running off through the woods.
Yeah, I didn't even see it.
You know, and we were probably I don't know, 5 or 6 cars back from passing the point where it was, and these guys just apparently, I don't know, they just decided they were going to try to walk right up on it and get a picture with their cell phone. And
they're probably not even 10 feet away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how close they were, but they got way closer than you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
And they were really lucky that the bear decided to run the opposite direction.
The opposite direction.
Yeah, so they spooked it off. But those are the kind of things you're going to have to deal with if you go when it's really busy.
Yeah.
We saw a lot more people trying to get out of their cars and walk up closer to even the bison. A lot of people feel like because you can see the wildlife so close from your car that you're in a zoo or you're in some kind of a controlled environment, and you know, you're not at all. These animals are still wild animals, and they're still gonna do what wild animals do. But you just didn't see near that amount of stuff when we went early in the morning, just because there was so many less people that you can get your pictures of whatever you want to get pictures of, because you're not trying to battle, you know, 50 or 60 other people or more.
Yeah, like 100 maybe.
We actually saw, on the evening trip, we actually saw a beautiful big bull elk laying off underneath some trees, and the madhouse of people that were pulled off the road and trying to get into this field to take a picture of this elk was unbelievable. There were probably at least 50 cars pulled off.
There's probably over 100 people trying to...
It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, the elk didn't seem to mind. He was chilling under the tree.
Yeah.
just doing his thing, you know. But we went on down, made our turnaround. We went all the way back to Canyon Village again, turned around there, and on the way back, when we went back past that spot, everybody had kind of cleared out.
Yeah.
So we pulled off the road and got some video of him laying there underneath his tree.
Yeah, he decided he was gonna take a nap.
Yeah, he was conked out. He wasn't worried about much of nothing.
And I think that'd be a very nice nap with his big antlers in the way.
And then one of the other cool things that we got to see on the evening trip was a bison that was laying right beside one of the steam vents.
Yeah. So, pretty cool. So, that was crazy.
Yeah, it's really neat. Seeing a bison laying right up there beside the steam vent was, I mean, that was a classic Yellowstone picture. You know, the bison laying there with the steam coming up behind him.
And if you go, be prepared for the smell of the steam vents. It does not smell very good.
What's it smell like?
It smells like sulfur. Pretty much.
Right, very good, very good. So that was pretty much our first day. I mean, that was a full day for us. There was a lot of driving, so we ended up putting well over almost 300 miles on the truck in one day between driving from Buffalo Bill State Park into Yellowstone and back, and then doing that trip again. So it was a tremendous amount of driving.
Yep.
But we think it paid off.
Yeah, for sure.
And even though it was so much busier in the evening time, it really reinforced that for the rest of this trip, we will be getting up probably at the exact same time, 8 a.m. and going and getting in the park early and seeing what we want to see, you know, really early.
Elk, bear, bison.
Trying to fight with all the crowds and the other traffic. I mean,
Yeah.
it slows your progress down. It's going to take you longer to see what you want to see, and you're also having to fight those crowds, you know, to get any kind of pictures or video of things or just to see anything. So I think that's it.
Yep.
Next video will be from the Lamar Valley. We're gonna keep our fingers crossed that it's as neat as this first side that we visited from the east entrance. We're going to be going in from the northeast entrance. So we'll see what happens. But either way, one way or another, we'll let you guys know how it is.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest at GB Outdoors. Bye, guys.
All right. Catch you guys down the road from Lamar Valley.